السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who has exerted any effort behind this conference, who has helping us in order to stand in front of you and chest out all what we have, all what we have done. Everybody in this world has a dream, but after your dreams and your dreams become true, it's a long trip. It's a long journey. A lot of adventures, sacrifice, challenges that have been facing you. Today I'm going to talk about the cultural tourism in Sudan. Maybe first time one of you has heard of this word. But I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 questions. Do you think that Sudan has touristic sites, places? Do you think that tourist activity will make a difference to our economy? Do you think the cultures, events, and tourism will unite us because we are diversity? Do you think the cultural tourism will develop our IDPs situations, will develop our rural area? This kind of questions I'm going to display to all of you through my story. Actually, my story started in Khartoum and ended in Darfur. It started in a very small city in Khartoum called Al Yusuf. That's the area where I've grown up. I went to schools and university, and all experience I had when I was a child. By that time, I thought the whole world only is Khartoum. After I went to university, I had to go to Omdurman, so that means I have to pass every day by the rivers. And then I got to know that the 2 rivers meet in one place called Mugra in Khartoum. I just passed by. I never care what's going on. I saw people, they're just on the boat, going, coming back. That's all. Sometime a friend, they asked me to go, let us go to the museum in Khartoum. I just go to the museum and come back. All of a sudden, while I'm in the university, my sister, she got married to the German guy. The German guy, he said he would like to marry a Sudanese. So all of them, they decided to come over to Sudan. And they said they would like to stay at my sister's house. They didn't decide to go to the hotel or everywhere. They said they want to stay in our house. About 11 German guys, ladies and boys. They speak German and English. We at our home, we speak only Arabic and a little bit of English. So they came to our house, and then we interact together, and we contact every day in the mornings. They drink what we drink. They eat what we eat. They play what we are playing. It really, we contact each others. They change our minds that we are human beings. We are different only in colors, but there is no any difference. After the ceremony finished, they decided to visit some touristic sites in Sudan. This first time in my life, I hear the word tourist. I went to the dictionary. I looked at it. I found the meaning of tourist. So they asked me, would you like to accompany us? I said, yes, why? I would love to accompany you. That's very great. So we planned. Next thing in the morning, they said they would like to go to the north of Sudan. This first time in my life to go to the north of Sudan. We went to a place called Marawi, around 200 kilometers from Khartoum, northeast. Only sand. But we end up to very ancient city of Sudan around 3,000 years ago. And this city consists of different villages called Bijrawiya. We went there and I saw the pyramids. I couldn't imagine that we are in Sudan, we have a pyramid. That means there is a people that lived in this area long time ago. They did many nice things. They have their own civilizations. They try to do good things. They just left for us these pyramids just to understand, hey, we are there. We did something nice to you. After that, we went to Karima. I saw the Barkal mountains. There is a lot of temple there. After that, we came back to Khartoum. We spent one night, then we decided to go to Port Sudan, east of Sudan. For the first time, I saw the Port Sudan and the harbor, and I saw the beautiful shore, unspoiled of carbon reefs. It's really great, marvelous. You cannot imagine how beautiful it is. It is not only fish. But the funny part, while I went to north of Sudan and east of Sudan, I found different languages. I thought that we in Sudan always speak Arabic. Does this is totally changed my mind? No. Sudan, there is another language in this country. There is another site. There is another culture in these countries. We need to see it. I was really shocked. I cannot imagine that to find Sudanese people, they speak a different language. They never ever even said one single word in Arabic. After that, we took the bus and we went to the old harbor and port. It's called Sawakin. And I realized that this Sawakin is established and organized by Turkish. So I had to know that the Turkish also, they did something nice to our country. And I started to learn about this Sawakin, how the Turkish people, they came over to Sudan and built these Sawakins. That means there is a lot in this country. After that, I realized that even the climate is different from east of Sudan and north of Sudan. We came back to Khartoum with my friends and my brothers-in-law and his friends. And then next 2 days, they said they would like to go to Nuba Mountain. Oh, I said, Nuba Mountains? Where is this? We just packed ourselves. We had a fantastic plan. And then we drove by our car. We went to Nuba Mountains. We went up to Kadugli. And I saw the Nuba people there. Also, they have their own cultures. They have own norms of lives. They have their own way of dealing with things, and they have their own language also. But they are very nice, like the people in north and people in east. They are very nice. They're receiving us nicely. They welcome us in a very great way. You cannot imagine at all. After that, we came to Delhi. We rent 2 bicycles. I cannot forget these moments. We bike up to the mountains, to Kalara and Salara mountains. These 2 mountains, they are very famous in Nuba Mountains area. It has its history. And then I realized, and they told me a lot about the history of that area. We went back to Khartoum after the long trips. This trip really changed my mind, totally. Because by that time, I thought Sudan only is Khartoum. And then all of a sudden, from these trips, I realized that no, we as Sudanese, we are different. We have our own cultures. We have our different way of norms. But we are united. After that, we had a celebration for them. We had a farewell party for them. So they went back to Germany. In 1995, my brother-in-law and my sister, they came back again to say hi to us. They come back to Khartoum. After 3 days, they said they would like to go and see Jabal Marra. And they asked me, would you like to accompany us? I said, yes, I would love. No question at all. We packed and we had a very nice plan. But this trip is a very long, they asked me. It's not like when we go to North Sudan or East or Marra Mountain. It's going to be a very long one. So we took the bus from Khartoum, about 7 hours, up to a place called Rahat. In Rahat, there's a very nice lake called Turda. All Rahat peoples, they gather in this place. Those who are wash their clothes there, the children, they play in this place. Some of them, they just go on fishing. It's a really center and downtown for the Rahat area. We spent one night. They're receiving us nicely. They had fantastic food for us. Even they slaughtered chicken for us. I remember that very well. And we had a very nice story in this one, but I cannot display it. It's a very close. So next day in the mornings, we went to the train station. This is another story. To go to the train station, that means you have to look for your rooms, your bookings, numbers, and then start people quarreling and shouting, this is my place, this is my number, and this is my area. Everybody shout. But once the train start to move, everybody got quiet. Everybody tried to bring his food and his place and ask us, hey, come and eat, we are together, and these kind of things. This is really bring to my mind that we as Sudanese, we are really different. We are really different from the others. And this kind of thing, we need to think about it in a very seriously way. Although we are shouted and everything, but when the train starts, everybody asks you to come and eat his food. He didn't ask you where you come from, whether you come from north or you come from east or from south. So we had a very nice trip on the trains. We just crossed all the sand. And you know, you go from Rahat to Mujlet and Nanad. After that, we end up to Niala City. This is 1995. I was really amazed when I saw all Niala peoples. They dress nicely and they come over and see the trains. And everybody would like to come and watch and receive his family who is coming. People, they are very peaceful and they're very nice. We end up to the stations. We unpack our stuffs. Then our family, they just took us to the homes. In the morning, we had a nice trip in Niala. I got to know that Niala is divided to two places, north and south, and there is a valley called Birli, which is dividing the city. And there is a very nice mountain. If you climb on the top of the mountains, you will see the nice view of Niala, which is really give you an idea. This place is a marvelous place. It's not an easy city. We went to the market. I found a lot of crops and fruits. And I asked myself, from where they got these kind of things? And then I got to know that there is a lot of villages around Niala city. They're supporting this city also. Although the Niala city is one of the commercial city in South Darfur, but it has its own cultures. We spent 2-3 nights. Then we took the bus to Jabal Marra, Nertati. Around 2 hours or 2.5, we arrived to Tur. But the funny part that you will notice that when you are driving by your car or you're going after Kas, which is a big city on the way to Nertati, you will realize that you're going up like this. That's give me an idea that, we are going somewhere else. We arrived very tired, totally exhausted, very late at night. We just directly went to the bed. We had a fantastic night. In the morning, around 6 a.m., We woke up in the mornings, wow, it's a marvelous place. You cannot imagine that you are in front of Golol Waterfall. This first time in my life I see waterfall, and I say, how come this country is really great? We have waterfall in our city. It's a very green. The climate is totally changed. The water is very clean. People, they are very nice. So in the morning, we say we had to go a bit further and discover a lot of different adventures. So we decided to go and see what is called Saura Waterfall. We walked through very difficult valley, about 3 hours walking. We don't know where we are going, as if you are in the middle of nowhere. And all of a sudden, we discovered that we are in front of Saura Waterfall. It's a high top. Very great, very nice. The temperature, unbelievable. So we had our lunch there. We had very good something to eat and drinks. And then the guides who told us that on the top there are 2 lakes. One is hot and one is cold. So in these times, the inception of idea of dealing with the touristic business come to my mind. And I said, no, Ashraf, this is not enough. You have to think in a different way. And then I thought about really taking care of these areas and this kind of business. So we had like 15 days in Darfur. We went back to Khartoum. In 2008, I came back again to Darfur for another reasons. I contact with the people of Niala as social activists, and we had a very good activities we have done. We realized that the city of Niala needs a lot of effort and job should be done. So we start that to bring life to the Darfur Darfur community museums and some libraries in Nialas. And then we started to make some activities. It has to do with the cultures, because we need also to bring people to the cultures in order to understand what is going on in the whole country of Sudan. In 2018, I start to construct my first touristic resort, which is called TEDx. It's just located in the valley of Niala, Birli. It's just look like a village, a touristic village. And that's the idea of making the concept of TEDx just become like a touristic village. In this TEDx resort, although we servings, there is a cafes and restaurant and cafeteria, but also we have done a lot of different events. We organize events for entrepreneurs, the ladies, like 2 or 3 times. Organize a cultural music concert, just to bring people to their cultures. In the last one, we organized one of the greatest events in the world. We organized what is called the Melet Festival. And all of you know that the Melet in Sudan and in Darfur in particular, it has to do with our cultures, identity, culture and traditions. It's our economy, it's our health. How come we have crops like this, but it's not really discovered by the officials and by the ordinary peoples? So we got to know that, and we bring the Melet in a very nicely way. It has like a great carnival I have ever seen in the last 2, 3, 4 years. All these things together, the journey from Khartoum to the north of Sudan, is Juba Mountain, Kordofan, and Darfur, is come to idea that we as Sudanese, we have unbelievable sites. We have very good wealth, resource. It only requires from us that look at it in a different way. So all of us, we need really to sit down and realize that we have something we have to think about it. The story and the dreams, which I have dreamed about it, it took really long times, passing through different adventures and sacrifices. And it won't be easy unless there is different elements supporting you and bring you to this stage. My advice to all of you, if you want to dream or plan big size, you have to start in small. And I started from Tik Tik Resort, and thank you very much.